Hey there, Coach Nrgy here, the Self Mastery Coach. We are back with another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you are returning, thank you. If this is your first time, hello, I am Coach Nrgy. I am a life and relationship coach. And here on this channel, I share information, I share content where I work with also high achievers. So whether you are man, woman, it doesn't matter. If you are a high achiever that is looking to excel in wherever you are to another level in life, that is what I am here for. That is what I am here to help you do, help you achieve. And on this channel, especially for today, what I'm going to do, what I typically do is answer a question that has been submitted from a viewer or maybe a current client, whomever ends up submitting questions via my form. And so that's what we're going to do today. So my question or the question that I'm answering is, my fiance wants me to sell my dream car to pay off her student loans. It feels like she's asking me to play small instead of finding a way for us to win bigger together. Very interesting question. Okay, let me preface this by saying they're clearly on the road of marriage because of the term used of fiance. And so I just want to say that up front because I understand there's a lot of people who may be watching this video. There's just a lot of people in general who don't think that marriage is the end goal for everyone just because two people are together. Some people just want to live life together as life partners. That is totally fine. But this question, I am going to answer it with the mindset of marriage, fiance, they're headed towards unifying their lives with each other. So, with that out of the way, and with that being said, um, my first response is don't do it. And only because, or mainly because, y'all aren't even married yet. And so I am a firm believer in not combining excuse me, not combining finances until after you're married, not combining households until after you're married, not combining your debt until after you're married. I am a big believer in just waiting until you have said I do, until it is official. And then that's when you join together as one. Once you've made that commitment, once you've made that agreement of joining together as one. Once you do that, then that's where, sure, if that's what you want to do, I see the wording being used of dream car. So that typically means that that particular car holds more weight than maybe like a daily driver type of car that you get to get yourself to and from work or run errands throughout the town or whatever. A dream car typically means that someone made a lot of sacrifices, put in a lot of work, sweat, maybe even tears to achieve whatever that purchase was or is. And so in this case, a dream car. So my first thing to say is I would not sell your dream car for your to pay off the student loans for your fiance because you make sure that you get to the wedding first. Make sure that you all actually make it to the other side of the wedding and you've made it on the other side of saying your I do's before you do such a big thing, like paying off that debt, because you don't want to have any regrets, and anything can happen leading up to that moment. So, and not saying anything about your guys' relationship or anything like that. It doesn't give any extra details. The question, it's a pretty straightforward question. So there's no extra backstory or anything like that for me to go off of. So, um, yeah. But what you can do. So me being a solution type of person, a solution oriented person, instead of just saying no and leaving it at that, I want to help you come up with maybe some other ideas of how you can still assist in this debt, especially as it seems like y'all are on the road towards marriage, and whatever is hers is yours, and whatever is yours is hers, including the student loan debt. So as soon as you get married, that debt is going to become yours together. So I say that to say, I it's still a great opportunity for you to assist in her eliminating that debt before you get married. So therefore, it doesn't turn into your debt as well. Um, so let's talk about some various options and possible solutions to do this without you paying, excuse me, without you selling your dream car at this stage. It's a little too soon. We're almost there, but it's just a little too soon. And then also just looking at the last part of your sentence of it feels like she's asking me to play small instead of finding a way for us to win bigger together. Of course, I don't know if she is asking you to play small. It just could be just her way of thinking about money, her way of thinking about debt, her way of thinking, just her way of thinking about finances. So I can't speak to that, but I will speak to that very end piece of finding a way for us to win bigger together. That's the part that we're really going to talk about today. So how can you win bigger together at the stage of still being engaged, but not yet married? So, number one, kind of, well, two of those could be number one choices. So let's just talk about this one first. So, assuming that let's just say y'all work at a W-2 type of job, basically meaning you're not self-employed, you don't have your own business, you're not an entrepreneur or anything like that. So let's just say if you both are just, you're working W-2s, and is it an opportunity for someone to get promoted? Is a promotion possibly like on the horizon somewhere? Is it an opportunity for either you or her to, especially her, because a lot of this is her responsibility right now at this stage. So a lot of what I'm saying is mostly going to be on her, but understanding that you are her fiance, you've asked her to marry you. Me assuming you asked her, she didn't ask you, but someone asked someone to marry them, and y'all are headed towards combining eventually. And so most of this is going to be a responsibility of hers. However, these are things that you could consider assisting with as well without doing such a drastic change. So, okay, going back to the promotions at work. So let's just say if the both of you are working W-2 jobs, is there an opportunity for her to get promoted? Like, how long has she been on her current job, to where she can maybe present herself to her management, to her leadership team, and see if a promotion is available to her. Even for you, I mean, that's not a bad thing to do at all, no matter what stage of life or relationship that a person is in. So is it possible for you to seek a promotion as well? And if so, the reason I'm bringing that up as an option is because whatever that extra is, you all can come to an agreement of saying that extra, instead of us living and spending that extra, living on that extra, put that extra that you get after your promotion, put that in a pot to start building up to then paying off her debt. Or, as she's getting paid, let's just say she gets a promotion, whatever her extra is, she just starts immediately putting it on her student loan debts, just paying any extra that she can do. So then the other thing that I was thinking about, let's just say if you aren't working a W-2 job, and let's just say if you are maybe self-employed, or it actually doesn't matter, because ultimately the next option is a side hustle, some sort of a side gig. What can she do? Again, we're going to put most of the ownership on her, because these are her student loans as of right now. Again, y'all are still engaged. You haven't married yet, to where you have assumed that debt as well. So right now it is on her. So what side gigs, what side hustles, what side jobs can she do to help increase her income? Okay, so I don't know what she's into. Can she get a job walking dogs? Can she get a job babysitting? Can she do some sort of like Ubering, door dashing, that type of courier transporting type of gig? Is she good at cooking? Can she bake and sell cakes or cupcakes or what's the things that's popular? Pop cake? A pop cake pop. Um, is she a baker? Can she bake cakes or cookies or things like that and sell them? What anything else that she may be talented talented at or gifted in? Can she pick up another job of where she's doing something online? Ultimately, she would need to find a way, if at all possible, to bring in extra income by possibly getting a side gig or a side job. Now, this is where you could come in as well and assist. Making extra money doesn't hurt anyone as long as it's not affecting your health, or just like running your body to the ground or your mental to the ground or anything like that, because I'm really big on balance. So as long as you're not already stretched thin or anything like that, um, what side gigs can you possibly do to assist with bringing in that extra income, to where instead of you selling your dream car, whatever you make, I would suggest that you put yours just, in a pot somewhere. Just put it in a pot, whether that be a separate savings account or, whatever type of account that you want to create, where anything extra that you make, you're putting yours in this pot and you're just letting it build up. Because let's just say if the student loans are still there, once you all get married, once you say I do, everything is official. And then at that point, any extra that you have earned, you can then put it on her student loan debt, because at that point, that debt has become your debt. So it's your responsibility anyway at that point. But until then, you just build it up, on your end. But for her, anything that she's able to make extra on top of whatever her regular expenses are, anything extra that she makes, she would need to just put it, towards her student loan, boom, immediately. Every time she gets an extra income, extra check or whatever, put it towards the student loan debt to start chipping away at it. Um, so that's increasing income. But then let's talk about how can she decrease her expenses to also help create that extra, that extra amount that she can then put towards her student loan debts at this stage. So I would consider having a conversation. Y'all should have already had this conversation, of course, about finances just in general, because you were already engaged. And so having conversations about finances, it is necessary, it is required. It is a non-negotiable to talk about your finances with the person that you are engaged to. And because you're about to join things anyway, so you want to know what you're getting into. They should know what they're getting into. So it's just keeping everything above board, keeping everything transparent, open, and honest, so everyone can see what it is that we're getting into. And everyone can then go into it knowing that they're making a choice of knowing whatever the person, their partner is into, or vice versa, whatever. So, like, what are her expenses? And that same conversation will include, like, what are her spending habits? So sure, she may want you to sell your dream car, but what is she doing to help herself get out of her own debt? Does she, I don't know. Again, there were no other details, but does she spend a lot of money, just shopping? If so, she needs to put that money towards her debt. Does she spend money going out to eat versus cooking meals at home and maybe meal prepping? Um, if so, she needs to turn all of that out, eating out money, into student loan debt payoff money. Um, you, those are pretty much the standard things that we all understand, of where that those extra dollars of what a person makes, where it can easily or quickly go. So, one more actually, especially for the female, like, does she do a lot of maintenance, like constantly getting her hair done, maybe getting her nails done, lashes? Does she do any sort of like vanity type of treatments, Botox or, things like that? Those are expenses. And those are things that can be put that money can be put towards her student loan debt. So have the conversation. Um, I'm not sure. I mean, if I were to assume, I don't like to assume, but if I were to assume, maybe you have been good with your money because you were able to buy your dream car. But just because a person, side note, just because a person was able to buy their dream car, not saying this person that submitted the question, but just because a person was able to buy their dream car, it doesn't mean that they're good with money, because some people will buy a dream car and be in debt themselves and can barely afford the car. But then some people may have saved responsibly and was able to purchase that car without it limiting, or without them being over their head, so to speak. So that's why I don't like to assume just because somebody has something doesn't mean that they're good with money. So, but let's just say in this case, if you are good with money, then another solution would be to help her with her budgeting, help her with her monthly income and incoming and outgoing expenses. And so to help her get into a position of being more financially stable to where she can tackle this debt, as opposed to just saying, hey, you have this dream car, let's sell it so I can pay off my student loans. You know. Um, so yeah, so creating a budget, having the conversation about her expenses, making sure that she's being responsible with her spending, because she may be being responsible with her spending. And then in that same conversation of budgeting, consider helping her come up with a debt payoff plan. So with whatever her student loans are compared to whatever she's making, and then if she can start making extra, then y'all sit down, sit together and plan it out. So this is again how you're able to be a part of the student loan payoff process without you getting in too soon, too deep right now while y'all are still just, in the engagement period. Um, so yeah, creating a debt payoff plan would be a goal as well. And then considering that you all are on the road to marriage, I hope that y'all aren't living together yet. A lot of people do live together before getting married. I'm against that. But again, it doesn't say anything about that in this question. But let's just say if you all have not moved in together yet, perfect. And what you can do is, okay, instead of you selling your dream car, well, you're on the road of prepping to live together, which means she has her household items, you have your household items. So, of hers, what things, again, I don't want to necessarily assume that she's going to move in with you, because it could be that you're moving in with her once y'all get married, or y'all could do the third option, which is y'all maybe buying a place together, a neutral new place together where it's new to both of you. Whatever of those three choices that y'all are going to do, to the person that's asking this question, items will need to be sold from somebody, because it wouldn't make sense to have double of everything in the one household. So you don't need double the furniture, double the kitchen appliances and dishes, and double the beds, of course, unless you have one bed that's going to be for the master bedroom or the main bedroom, and then the other for the guest bedroom, whatever. Of course, not to get into all of those little bitty details. However, just the concept and the idea of not wanting to, somebody's going to have to get rid of something. And so, okay, let's sell those things. So of hers, let's focus on hers first, her items first. Okay, what things of hers can she start selling because you're already on the road of marriage, what things can she start selling and get in the mind frame of being a reseller, sell her own stuff to then make that extra money to then put that towards her student loan debt. So just like she can ask you to sell something, she can start selling some of her own stuff as well. Things that y'all can come to an agreement on of getting rid of. So because y'all haven't gotten married yet, that part can still be a little bit tricky because she would need to make sure that she's not doing things too fast as far as like selling, especially like those big ticket items, maybe a sofa, her bed, or whatever. She would have to make sure that she's not selling certain things too soon because y'all have to make sure that you get to the wedding day and that you both make it to the other side of saying, I do. So still, there's a little bit of waiting period that's there for both you and her. And yeah, y'all just have to create a plan together to figure out a better way of how you can work together using your terminology, win bigger together. Absolutely. Come up with a solution of tackling her student loan debt without you having to sell your dream car. So I think that's it. I think that's all. I'm gonna leave it right there. Um, if you, her, both of you together want to connect with me, we can schedule a session together and talk this through. We can come up with a plan together. If having this let's just say if you do have this conversation with her after seeing my feedback and my response, and she's not understanding it, she's not in agreement with it, or she's not on board with it, I am happy to meet with her and we can, again, schedule a session with you there, without you there, whatever it is that y'all are more comfortable with doing. And I can help her understand just more of the nuances behind the request that she's making and help her understand, hey, the actual way to do this is to work towards paying it off um, without having to sell your partner's dream, dream car, dream purchase, dream vehicle. Excuse me. So yeah, feel free to make an appointment on my calendar. The link is in the description. It is the second link where you can first schedule a consultation, no obligation consultation, and then we can kind of go from there to see what kind of plan that we can come up with together. And anyone that is watching this episode, if you are in a similar situation, it may not necessarily be with a dream car. It may be something else where you're like, hey, my fiance, my partner, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever it is, wants me to do this thing and we're not even married yet, whatever. Reach out to me. Click that link in the description to schedule a consultation so we can then plan some time to actually sit down and plan things out. My website is coachnrgy.com, Nrgy, coachnrgy.com. Or you can just click the link in my description. If you have a question that you would also like to ask, similar to this, whether it be a relationship question or something just, where it's just you as an individual, finances, mindset, emotions, whatever, communication, whatever it is, submit your question. That link is also in the description. It is the first one. It is called Ask Coach Nrgy. And I will give you my response via video feedback, and hopefully it will help you and help other people. That is what this channel is for. That is what I am here for. So if you think that this video and my response here could be helpful to other people, hit the thumbs up and share this video to others. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Do all of the things to help get this channel out there. We are slowly but surely growing. Okay, we are growing slowly but surely. And until then, y'all take care and I will see you in the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.